Hello everyone, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to cut out your paintings for Project 4. I know many of you painted multiple paintings on one sheet of Bristol board and now we don't have access to a paper cutter, but fortunately this is a pretty simple thing to do at home. So what you'll need for this is your artwork obviously, a pencil, a ruler, ideally one that is metal so that you don't cut the edge of the ruler with your cutting tool, and some kind of cutting tool. In my case, I'm using a box cutter because I'm still in Montana at my parents' house and they don't own an X-Acto knife, go figure. You also need something to cut on. You obviously don't want to cut on your nice kitchen countertop or something, but if you've been holed up at home and you've been getting all kinds of Amazon boxes, that's an excellent thing to cut on. Alternatively, you can cut on something like the back of your Bristol board pad. That cardboard on the back there works really great. So what you are going to do for this is you are going to take your piece of artwork to be cut and you are going to line your ruler up on one edge of it where you know that that cut needs to be made, and you're going to go ahead and make a line like so. From that line you will measure out the other dimensions of your artwork. So my artwork is actually much smaller than yours and very quickly made. It's only 2 inches wide, so I'm going to measure 2 inches from the line there and 2 inches from the line up here, and make another line to delineate the other side. If some of you used corners when you traced your piece, you might have an easier time finding where these lines are. For my part, I didn't really have any place in mind, so it doesn't matter so much. Now to get the piece across, you're going to line your ruler up so that the tick marks here are parallel to the lines that you established out here as much as you can get by eyeballing it. Make your line and then measure your next dimension. So I'm going to go 2.5 here, and as always we measure twice because that gives us even grid work instead of something that's crooked. Now you can check to see whether your artwork is actually square by lining your ruler up and measuring in between the opposite corners. So here it's 3 3/16, and if I go this way it is 3 3/16. That's how I know that I have something that's actually a rectangle and not a parallelogram. Once you have those lines, it's easy peasy. You just put your metal ruler on here. You want to spread your fingers out on the ruler so that you're putting pressure along the entire length, but you also want to make sure your fingertips are not hanging over the edge of the ruler because that makes for fingertips that are not so happy or attached anymore. So make sure you don't do that. And then you're going to cut. You can cut lightly. It's better actually to cut lightly and do multiple pulls with the knife than it is to push really hard and pop through the surface of your box and thus make everything shift around and be sort of strange. I love the fact that my mom had this Logan Adaptarule super fancy ruler, but she doesn't have an X-Acto knife. Parents, am I right? Okay, so there is my beautiful artwork all cut out and ready to go. You'll do this 3 times for each one of your paintings. It's very important that you make sure all of the paintings are square or rectangular, not parallelograms, and that they are all the same size. So if you painted 6 by 9 inches, each one should be 6 by 9 inches. If you have any questions about this, don't hesitate to email or come see me during virtual office hours.